All right. Hi, guys. How are you today? Okay, we're going to give you a little intermission here. All right.
As unique as a black carbon fiber
Enjoy
unicorn,
this. I'll be right back.
as spacious as the Sistine Chapel, and some would say as beautiful, quirky and cool, imposing and insane. The Hansteiger X1 has created more intrigue, raised more eyebrows, and solicited more comments than any other yachting video on the web. And today, we can see her for the first time as she hits the water and is prepared for delivery. I don't remember the last time that a yacht video put this big a smile on my face. I think never, to be perfectly honest, and with good reason, because not only have the incredible Hansteiger team battled their way through the worst pandemic in living history to complete an insanely ambitious project, but they've done so to a remarkably high level of quality. Now, as we look around the yacht, you will see a few small details that still need to be finished. That's totally normal for a yacht in this phase of delivery, but we wanted to get this video filmed for you to show what an incredible product is now available on the market. And I believe that many of her features will put a big smile on your face too. Access to the Hansteiger X1 is from the stern, and this stern has the biggest wow factor of any yacht I have seen. The entire aft section opens up to not only allow for extreme ease of access, but also to flood the lounge with sunlight, converting a previously exclusively interior area into a vast beach club with stunning views and the freshest of fresh air. The Hansteiger team were well aware of the challenges of this design, though, the largest of which was losing cool air from the air conditioning when the aft doors are down. They turned this challenge into a great feature on board, as some of those distinctive geometric glass panels lift like gull-wing doors to allow natural breezes to cool the guests with a cross-flow of delightful sea air. The lounge area is both vast and supremely well designed. Large, comfortable sofas and armchairs to starboard, a very elegant and modern galley to port, leading onto a well-proportioned dining table. When I said earlier that the yacht put a smile on my face, though, it is little details like this that are just wonderful on board. Two ultra comfortable armchairs that rotate so that you can enjoy whatever view takes your fancy, or even get a little closer to somebody who takes your fancy if you prefer. Forward of the galley, on the port side, is a beautifully appointed VIP stateroom with surprisingly spacious wardrobe space and a gorgeous and sophisticated bathroom. It's the starboard side of the yacht, though, that showcases Hansteiger's original and daring approach to yacht design. Just look at this, an area of the yacht inspired by first-class air travel, where guests can sit and watch the scenery go by, children can nap or play on their PlayStations, and at night, the entire area can be closed off and used as an extra stateroom. Complete, of course, with another extremely well-appointed bathroom. This area really is the joker in Hans Steiger's pack of cards. Not only can it be used in many different ways, but a door off the corridor also leads to a small service cabin that is ideal for a nanny or an unexpected overnight guest. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're filming this as Hans Steiger are putting the final touches on the yacht. There's still some exposed stainless steel in the bathrooms. That'll be covered with a lovely vinyl finishing. There are still some fittings that need to be adjusted. It made me smile that the Hans Steiger crew were apologizing for this. I've delivered over 100 yachts in my career, and there are well-established yacht builders that will be proud of this level of finishing and proud to be able to have a yacht this close to completion on the day of filming. Now, as regards the guest areas, I really have left the best until last. The master stateroom at the extreme forward end of the center hull. I've left it until last because I want you to have the same impression that I had when I saw it for the first time. And I just kept saying, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, and there's another wow I absolutely have to tell you about. And it's up those steps. Just take a look at the helm station. The Hans Steiger designers certainly didn't hold back on daring designs. This fighter pilot styled helm station could put a smile on anybody's face. Well equipped, well positioned, and well, just a lot of fun to use. The helm station, in turn, leads on to a glorious flybridge. For this yacht, it was decided that a central barbecue island would dominate the center. For yacht owners who enjoy everything from fine dining to hearty barbecues, this is a wonderful solution and still allows plenty of space for sunbathing and a jacuzzi tub. If you're watching this video though and reaching for your checkbook to order one for yourself, please be aware that actually you can pretty much order whatever layout you prefer in this part of the yacht. And also on this deck is access to the two crew cabins located in the port and starboard hulls. Let's talk for a moment though about the things that you haven't seen yet on board. One thing you certainly can't see is the remarkable level of silence throughout. This is simply because the designers opted for a powerful battery bank to be installed on board so that the vessel's entire hotel load can run entirely from the batteries. Of course, these need to be recharged regularly from generators or shore power.
All right, you guys see what that thing's all about. It's insane. It's even more insane when it actually gets up and runs. So we've got a lot to talk about, especially with respect to Heidi Planck today. And later tonight, after this is done, I'm going to stop the stream for a while. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through from August 12th up to date on the Gabby Petito case. A lot of people have been asking me for my full timeline, and a lot of people don't know how to use Twitch or get over there. That's where I generally post all my longer videos, and the original timeline that I did for Gabby was done, I think, over 30 days ago now. But I'll just run through that, and hopefully I can do it in 45 minutes or an hour. And so after this stream stops, just don't go anywhere. Be right there. I'll take 5 minutes and I'll upload it, get the stream up again. And that way I can just upload these videos individually. We'll also have I have a StreamYard posted there. We're gonna have one of our people that we had boots on the ground call in. So let's dive right in. This just came out. This was a new news feed that literally just hit the news at 5 o'clock, so 48 minutes ago.
Searching a handful of certain specific apartments near where that woman was found here at the Avalon apartment complex on Santa Monica Boulevard. Now, that woman, she died at the hospital. She hasn't been identified, and authorities say they don't have a description of the suspect or a motive.
Absolutely terrifying. Can't believe that had happened in a neighborhood like this.
Residents shaken up and homicide investigators on scene today searching for surveillance video and clues after the LA Sheriff's Department reports a woman in her 20s was killed here, shot on the 6th floor of the upscale Avalon Apartments in West Hollywood around 7:30 last night, discovered in the hallway.
She was suffering from one gunshot wound to the upper torso. Nobody saw the actual shooting, but several tenants of the apartment building came out after hearing some commotion.
Authorities rushing to the scene, but the woman couldn't be saved, and the gunman getting away.
Hearing that is just like, it raises so much like terror, just like knowing it happened and not knowing if they know who it is or where the person is.
Brinley Joyner lives on the 6th floor where it happened and says she was picking her friend up at the airport.
We weren't here at the time, but I do remember when we got home, there was like cops everywhere, and we didn't hear about it until this morning when we got an email from the company.
Residents sharing a notice they received from building management, telling them last night an incident occurred which resulted in a death, stating there is no immediate threat to the community. Hours earlier,
Residents were calling each other, terrified, not knowing what's going on.
Chris Dietert also lives on the 6th floor. During the deadly shooting,
My wife and I were walking our dog at the time, and I think we missed it by only about 10 minutes.
officials say they don't yet know if the suspect or victim lived in this building, but tonight, authorities sending the tenants this message.
Based on some of the things that we have discovered at the scene, we don't believe there's any threat currently or going to be continually to any residents of the apartment building.
Well, Lauren, that statement, of course, can be reassuring to residents, but that can you tell us if any extra security measures are being taken at the apartment complex regardless to protect those residents?
Yeah, because as you heard from that lieutenant there, they believe that the suspect fled this scene, meaning the apartment complex, but residents are shaken up because the gunman is still on the loose. So I am told, according to the sheriff's officials I spoke to, that there will be extra security. There is both private security that the apartment management has, and I'm told that West Hollywood Sheriff Station will also provide extra patrols of this building. Also coming up next at 6, I spoke to a resident who had some concerns about the response from the apartment building itself. I'll have more on that. For now, that's the latest live here in West Hollywood.
Okay, so here's another video on Heidi.
CBS 2's Stacey Butler has the latest.
She dropped her son off at a flag football game and vanished. Heidi Planck from Palm's gone 2 weeks now. We've learned the LAPD Robbery Homicide Division has now taken over the case from the Missing Persons Unit, signifying it is now a high-profile case. And we've learned detectives have seized security video from the downtown apartment building where, strangely, her dog was found wandering around. No one can explain why. They're not releasing any other information. Planck's ex-husband, who is helping lead the volunteer search for her, told me investigators with the Securities and Exchange Commission asked him about her job as the financial controller of Camden Capital Partners, a local investment company, and they wanted to know where her laptop was.
Some people are looking into her work. She knew everything. She knew everything. She knew everything.
The feds have filed a lawsuit against Camden's managing partner, Jason Sugarman, alleging that over a 3-year period, he and others stole $43 million from unwitting pension funds. Law enforcement has not said Sugarman is connected to Heidi's disappearance in any way, but her ex-husband is convinced her work at Camden should be investigated. Did it ever occur to you that maybe she knew too much?
It occurs to me every second that she knew too much. That's the hard part.
Also new, Heidi's friends say she had a new boyfriend in the Bay Area, Naeem Salam, who works as a VP for a charity created by Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. Friends say Heidi texted him before her disappearance that she was scared and wished that he was with her. Heidi's friends were planning on holding a prayer vigil for her Thursday, but that's her son's 11th birthday. So they've moved it to Sunday, 6 o'clock, downtown Los Angeles. In Newport Beach, Stacey Butler, CBS 2 News.
No shot.
So yeah, just crazy. I'll hold on to this for when Dawn gets here. Just want to quickly talk about some of the sites that are connected here. So this is, we'll do map time right now. This is the building that so one is called Flower and one is called Hope. And correct me if I'm wrong, Bo, were we thinking that she was in Hope or that she was in Flower? I don't think we actually totally confirmed that yet, but she was in one of these two towers, and we had reports that it was on the 28th floor, and then yesterday we got another report that it was on the 29th floor. So one of the scenarios that we're thinking of is that maybe somebody just put her dog in the elevator from the penthouse and sent the dog down on the elevator, but the elevator stopped early on the 28th or the 29th floor. So now we're going to go to her house. So her house is this, 3129 Helms Avenue, right here. And I'm going to just drop down here because when this was being built, this Bank of California, this is those Sugarman dudes. What they did is they parachuted themselves in and they took over this banking firm, probably with the intent to rape and pillage it. So this, I'm going to go a little bit more into this property now. Let's go to this stuff. So this is that home on Zillow, and you can see it's worth quite a bit of money. So this is the development that they put in there back in 2019, and they've got it estimated at 1.3 million, and that would have been a while ago. So that's interesting that she's a controller and that she's doing that well. And then this was a walkthrough of that actual house. Well, I guess you can see it's an absolutely beautiful house. Somebody wanted me to bring this up as well. So this is right behind that building, and it looks like it's got a metro station, and maybe that's where some transient people hang out that, I don't know, might be looking for a carjacking situation or something. It's just a thought. It's nothing that we really are big time on. Just let me go back to my timeline here. Really nice view. Here's the house. This Bank of California dude. March 19, 2019. So this Jason Galanis is connected to this guy, this California bank. This is the apartment. This was her house. This is her hubby, Jim. This is his place. And then down here was the football game that she was at and left abruptly at halftime. Now, this morning I was really big time onto this ex-boyfriend just because there was reports that they were fighting and that Heidi was actually ghosting him and not wanting to talk to him. So it seemed like there might be a big issue there. Let me go back to these maps. Do I have the California? So this was, I think, his the Niam Salim. This was, I think, his parents' place. But he doesn't live terribly far away. Like, he lives just up in San Francisco. And he's right in, I have it somewhere. Just give me a second here, guys. Yeah, oh well. Anyway, I did have it, but all of these addresses are connected. This is where that Sugarman, this is one of his houses up here. You can see it's a monster. These houses up here are worth big dollars. To put it into perspective, this right here, this is actually the Playboy Mansion. I just wanted to put this on here for curiosity's sake to see where it was relative to this. But it's up there. And yeah. Okay, that's your map time. So at the 1201 Hope Street, this is the Hope and Flower, and this is Yelp. So this is people talking about basically how gross the building is. It might look really nice from the outside, but this is a picture of the garbage chute. And I just wanted to show this for the size that it was. Like, Heidi's only 105 pounds, so just really strange that that dog was left on the 28th floor, the 29th floor. And if someone did, you know, hurt her, maybe this is what they did, was throw her into there. There's a bunch of, these are just people with complaints talking about, you know, stuff being left around, patios are gross. There's a lot of parties, dog feces, just gross stuff. It looks beautiful from the outside, but it's actually pretty ugly on the inside. This was the mother from Sydney West case. She's joined our Discord. So we're going to be working with her closely, and one of our people that's leading up that case has made contact with her, and we'll be premiering that probably in the next day or two. I think they want to get a few things more straight on that, and we will look into those. But again, she's having issues with the police department. Just doesn't seem like things are getting done, and we see that pretty commonly. So hopefully we can get in there and stir the pot and get some things going. I don't know if Dawn is ready to call in or not, but If she's not, I'm just going to go ahead, I think. So this was Dawn when she was out the other night, and she drove by Jim's house. Okay. Does anybody have any questions they want to call in? The other stuff that I'm about to talk about, I wanted to save for Dawn. But we're going to go through it. So here's Naeem. So this was that place he had in Oakland. This is up further. And so, yeah, here's the map time. So this is where he lives relative to all those places that I was showing you guys earlier. That's the El Dorado. That could be his parents' place. And then he's moved up to here. So that was part of the argument, apparently, that they had, was that he was too far away. And so there's two towers. There's the Hope and the Flower. And we're thinking the Hope, right? So somewhere on 28th or 29th floor, which would be right about here. It's where the dog was found and then later taken care of. There's also a connection to one of her old bosses. She used to work for this Douglas Alleman. She worked here for 10 months. And yeah, there was apartments listed there. So I've gone through these next four guys that I'm going to bring up, and I could not find any connection with respect to any of them personally, but potentially one of their businesses was related to that penthouse or some other building in there. Her friends. Well, yeah, this was a pretty good video. Let's watch this. Okay, I'm calling in Gavis. Did you get the video? Yes, I did. I already talked about that, Dawn, but I really need you for the last part. I need you to explain the court issue. The other stuff we've covered pretty well, so. This just takes a while to load, guys. Apologize. Yeah, the StreamYard's up on the screen there. And I also DM'd it to you before done. All right.
Micah, Cher, could there be a connection to that federal fraud case? That's what investigators are trying to figure out. Heidi Planck's friends were back here in this neighborhood tonight, and they told me that she was definitely worried about something in the days before she vanished. Heidi Planck's Mid-City house has been dark for more than 2 weeks, but tonight there are new developments in the disappearance of the 39-year-old divorced mom.
Absolutely abnormal, unlikely. She would never just leave.
Investigators now are considering if Planck's disappearance could be linked to her job as a financial controller. Her employer, Camden Capital in El Segundo, is under federal investigation for an alleged $43 million fraud scheme. Planck's friends say in days leading up to her disappearance, she was worried.
She was really stressed and nervous, but she didn't go into much detail.
The LAPD and federal agents served a search warrant at Plank's home last week, apparently seeking evidence in the fraud investigation.
This is not her. It's so unlike her, and it's so bizarre.
On the day she disappeared, Plank's home security camera showed her leaving with her dog to attend her 10-year-old son's football game. Her ex-husband says she abruptly left the game early.
She didn't seem agitated. She might have been a little bit antsy, but she left with her dog. And she just walked up to us and said, I'm going to go.
And then, a few hours later, her dog was found wandering around an apartment building in downtown LA. But Planck was nowhere to be found. Her friends told us tonight Planck would not willingly leave her 10-year-old son behind.
She would never do this to her boy. You know, she's worked so hard in her custody battle for this little boy. You know, I'm his godmother, and I've seen it from the beginning to the end.
Wow, you can just hear the heartbreak in her voice. So I'll end that one right there. Hi, Dawn. How are you?
Hi. Excuse me. I'm trying to pack for this weekend. Hi, guys.
No, it's all good. So did you want to go through that stuff that you sent me?
Sure.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly touch on some of these dudes right away. So this is Jim Wayne. This is her ex-husband. He's quite a bit older than her. He worked at Vidal Sassoon. He's a hairdresser. Just quickly, there was that garbage again. I thought that was important. These are the 4 slime balls and swindlers, I call them. So this is Jason Sugarman, 43 million fraud. This is his address. This is his brother. I'm pretty sure Steven Sugarman. He's about 4 years younger, I think. Yeah, he's 46. The other dude is 50. So yeah, these are all their addresses. I put those in there as well. Jeffrey Siebold, 55. These guys are all in really big houses. As you can see, none of these are connected to that 1201. They would generally show up there, but I guess the next thing to do is take all of these individual little companies and see if they are connected to any of those penthouses.
Yeah.
And then there's Jason Galanis. This guy's got sent to prison. He refers to himself as the porn king. And yeah, he's another dude with a lot of, well, he's sentenced to jail. I think he got 10 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So that his 1920 Bel Air, that was that one up by the Playboy Mansion that I was talking about. So that's where that came from. Okay, here we go. This is your stuff now.
Okay.
Do you want me to make it a little bit bigger?
I'm watching TV, so I can see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You probably want to make that a little bigger.
Yeah. Try 300. There we go. There you go. So if you want to walk through that and kind of explain just exactly what we're looking at, that would help.
Okay. So what happened was they filed for divorce and had their dissolution 2012 up to I believe it said the last hearing before this was August. If you go down a little, scroll down a little.
Oh, it's further down here? Start on
Yes.
this stuff? Okay.
Scroll down a tiny bit so you can see after party information. There you go. There. Okay, so the last thing that was done was, oh no, go back up. Up, like back where you were. Up. Or
there might be a delay.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Just give me a date.
Okay, so the 8/21, 8/12/21.
Okay, right here.
Yeah. So that looks like it was the last time they had any court appearances or court anything, and it looks like that was about child or support. It looks like. Okay. And then jump to the 26th, and he files an ex parte motion. And let me just explain, because there was some confusion. An ex parte motion is when you ask the court, you have to go in that day before 10 a.m. You ask the court or the judge to hear your complaint, right? So, and that day. So usually if you're going to go and file anything in court, as far as restraining order, because that's what this is. So it would be 15 days to respond to it. And then 30 days, usually the court is set out, the court date. Well, on a next party, that means there's an immediate, the only way they're going to grant that is there's an immediate danger to bodily harm to yourself or whoever's in that house, or whatever you're asking to be protected from. And so it looks like he had to, okay, so in order to do this either way, on the 25th, he had to have given her some type of notice. He can call her even and say, hey, I'm going to court tomorrow, but he has to prove that to the judge for the judge to even hear him. Okay, so that's what an ex parte motion is. And I guess if anybody has any questions about that, just I'll explain it. Message. So it was heard and granted on that day. So he made an order for a TRO, temporary restraining order, against her. We don't know what that order says. And
this line right here that says declaration ex parte notice given means that she was notified. Correct.
That's the only way that a judge will hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
But he did that all the same day, which means it had to have been pretty substantial evidence. And there's danger to money or finances or your reputation. None of that is going to get you a TRO. Right. Only bodily harm. So let's see. The order was granted that day.
Okay, and so let's just keep it clear for everybody else. So this filed by the petitioner, that is Jim.
Correct.
Okay, guys. So when you see filed by petitioner, that's Jim. Anything we see filed by respondent, that would refer to Heidi.
Right. So after that order was given by the court, in order for it to be valid, he has to serve her with those papers, right? To say, here's an order. So what it looks like to me happened, based on my experience in the courtroom, he served her immediately after, or she was served with those papers, and she immediately contacted the court to schedule an appearance, and she scheduled, as you can see, in a remote appearance. If you go down, their next court date is tomorrow, the 5th. And it says it has a courtroom, but that courtroom is going to be viewing the remote appearance by both.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to be tomorrow at 8:30.
Correct.
And this is in a different courthouse building. And you were talking about this earlier. So this one is typically hold on.
That's the other courthouse that they did their dissolution in custody and child support. That is strict. Stanley Mosque in LA is strictly family law. That's all they do there.
Right.
And this one's right next door. So it does civil, criminal, does everything else.
Perfect.
They're both superior courts though.
Right. So based on this information, then what are your thoughts on the case right now?
Well, if it's Department 88, so that is a civil. So it's not. Here's the thing. It's connected. I'm gonna be safe to assume, and I say safe. I say assume, but safe to assume that the son is involved because they've put this this request or this order, this TRO, they've combined it with the case number for their family law case. So they have to have a civil judge hear this though, not a family law, because their divorce is over.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And the TRO, again, for everybody that doesn't keep up with it, is a temporary restraining order.
So it's like what you would consider a stay away order. Like in DV cases, I'm sure a lot of people can relate. It's a protection order.
Yep. Okay, perfect. And so based on that, do you think that she's alive right now then?
I do. Not only do I think she's alive, But I also believe, based on based on the court information, she is probably going to show up, because otherwise she just wouldn't have responded and just let the order. So the friends saying that she's been fighting for her son, her responding makes sense, because here she is. She responded to, to the service of the paperwork. And immediately, it's not like they set a court date out 30 days, because the TRO is usually good for 30 days, 60 days, either 30, 60, 90, and then you go back and then it's 3 years, 5 years. But so this one, technically, since the order was made, shows that she didn't show up on the 26th, but that she would serve the papers, found out, and the judge is allowing her to respond now.
Right. Okay, so I guess that's somewhat positive. I mean, she has to be alive to respond to this, so...
Correct. You can't do it through an attorney. You physically have to yourself request it.
Okay, so then she could be in protective custody with respect to the 4 bad guys that we've listed here before.
That maybe. I don't believe that that's the case, but I mean, the cases against those people and the companies are federal.
Right.
And for him to file, he wouldn't file. If she was in protective custody, they wouldn't allow him to file anything. They're trying to protect her. And this is public. I think that maybe I'm not going to put my opinion in here. Facts are it doesn't look like a witness protection type of thing. Her name wouldn't be anywhere.
Okay. All right.
She wouldn't be able to fight for her son.
Yeah. No, okay. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much. I know you're really busy and you got to run and go see family, which is great. But yeah, thank you for all your work yesterday and digging up all this court stuff today. It's been
of course.
It's been fast and furious today. It's unreal.
Yeah. Today has been just mind-blowing, the stuff that has been revealed. This is a great team. I mean, I love us.
I do too.
Okay.
All right. Well, go take care of your family. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you Monday, I guess.
Great. I'll be checking in, and I'll be on this live, just I'm packing and stuff, so I can answer questions if you need me to, because I know there was a lot of legal stuff earlier, and you know me, I can't shut up. I'll put my 2 cents in somewhere anyway.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Well, there you have it, guys. So is there any questions? I mean, call in, give us your opinion. And yeah, let's try to hash this out. And I'm gonna run the Gabby Petito timeline tonight too. I actually was really happy today to see somebody else basically run my timeline with all my connections today. I was very impressed to see that happening. We've been ahead of everybody from day one. So Hope Tower, by the way, thank you, Dawn. Yep, that's where we kind of settled on. So I'm not sure why we don't get any questions. Such a shame. All right, guys. Well, on that note, I'm going to shut down and I'm going to prepare for the Gabby Petito timeline. I'm just going to change the titles, upload stuff, and yeah, give me a little bit and we'll get that one up. And when I run through the timeline, you're more than welcome to call in if you have a question or you want to dispute something with me, and I'll try to quickly spend a few minutes if you don't see things the same way. We can talk about it and hopefully we can convert you and get you onto the light side of things. But thank you guys for everything, and we'll be back up around, let's say, 6:45. Give me about 25 minutes to get ready. Okay? Thank you.